Welcome everyone to the TruExact show. I'm your host. I'm here with Brian, Eric, joined with XSIQ and our special guest from Broken Complex Record. You might have known him in the past from Funk Volume, DJ Hoppa. How you doing, man? Hope you're staying safe out there.
Yes, I am staying safe at home, chilling, man.
So, sorry, buddy. Go on.
No, I was just saying, big chilling.
Good. Yeah, that's really all that's there to do at this point. What we like to do on here is reach out to some people we grew up listening to. We've had a couple battlers on. We got into Funk Volume about 8 years ago, and you were the DJ behind the madness, if you will. So we reached out to you, and we want to know though your backstory a bit. We like to delve into that. So how'd you get started, and how'd you get into music?
My mom is a concert cellist. She plays the cello. Had me on piano early, and then I got into guitar, drums, bass, just playing instruments in junior high, and was in bands and shit. And then had a close homie in the neighborhood that had turntables, and that was a wrap. I was in his garage spinning records, and he actually hooked me up with my first turntable and a mixer, and I slowly pieced together a setup, started scratching, doing house parties. Loved hip hop like crazy, just loved it, related to it really on a personal level, and started playing house parties, and then wanted to make the beats, wanted to make the music that I was playing at the parties. Got had a shitty computer with some shitty program, and was throwing loops together, and then got a little MPC, started making beats. It was real organic and gradual, making beats in my mom's garage when I was 17, and then that's when I put together my first album. And then I finished my album. My homies believed in it. I didn't want to try to pitch it. I didn't want to try to do that. I was like, fuck it. This is just underground hip hop shit. Fucking let's start our own shit. And we did Broken Complex. And then I just stuck with it, man, fucking throughout the years, and have put out a bunch of music. And the Funk Volume thing was a cool thing that just happened. Hey, they need a DJ. I got hired through Dame. He came and saw me DJ at a club, and was just yo, I work with these rappers, they're about to go on a tour, they need a DJ, are you willing to do it? And I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. And then we did the tour, had such a good time, and they were like, yo, we want you on board. I wanted to be on board because what they were doing was dope, so got with them. But the whole time I was with them, I was always repping Broken Complex, simultaneously, you know what I mean? And then that's a quick up to the Funk Volume thing. Then Funk Volume went did its thing, and still been putting out records with Demrick, Gavlin, working with Dizzy, still DJ for Dizzy, tons of records with Jaren, still in contact with everybody and all that shit. So yeah.
With the I don't want to jump right into the Funk Volume thing, because that's probably 2011, I would say. But who was your influences when you first started? Who you said it was part of you, your life. Who were your influences, hip hop wise, or music wise, No,
absolutely. Hip hop was I was really into groups. I really enjoyed Tribe Called Quest, Far Side, Hieroglyphics, Soul Mischief, Black Star. I really enjoyed the crew aspect of hip hop, Wu-Tang Clan, of course, and shit. So I was a 90s kid, grew up on all that boom bap era, and just loved it, man. Mist, Shadow, Premiere, you know what I mean? All those guys.
Do you remember the Far Side video, Drop, where everything was backwards?
Of course, yeah.
And that to me was still one of the coolest videos of all time. I used to love when that would come on MTV, and I'd hit my brother and be like, oh, the video that goes backwards is on. And in the mid-90s, that was the cool fucking thing to do, I guess, the weird shit.
Love the Far Side, loved Diggable Planets, and Tribe and shit. That was my shit.
So how did you get into the beat making instead of really you said you made an album and whatnot. When did you realize the beats were what you wanted to do more than the rapping?
Oh shit, I never liked my voice. I always freestyled with the homies. I had rapper homies all the time. Always was in the scene, in the culture, in the ciphers at the house party, but never wanted to record myself. I'm sure there's somebody's got songs with me rapping on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was all for fun back in the day. Super young shit.
Right. That reminds me of XSIQ's brother. He made beats too, and we always had to force him to get on songs, and he was the same way. He made beats, and we would always need a 16, and no one else was around. Not to say your brother was bad; he was actually pretty good at rapping. And we were Come on, just get on the track. All right, fine.
Right, right. That's how it is sometimes. You just like, you have the vision for the song, you know how it sounds, you know how you want it to sound, but you don't want to be the one rapping on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But that's the difference between coaches and players.
Right, right.
You know, a coach knows he knows what needs to be done, but he can't necessarily do it. But the players know how to do it, but don't know what needs to be done, you know?
Right.
So they
Yeah.
work together.
So in the time you were doing the house parties in high school and whatnot, how was the reception? Like, did you just walk in and you were just like, I'm here to like DJ, or people knew about it in high school?
I mean, I'm old school, man. Like, we were the shit because it was like at the house party, these dudes come in, like we were carrying crates of records and fucking turntables and shit. So we were the entertainment. Like, it was like, oh yeah, it's like a keg coming through. You know what I mean? Like, fucking keg, there's music, and that's a party. If you have those two things, you're set. You know what I mean? In a backyard, fucking. So that was like, and that always got it popping. We always brought a mic. There was always freestyles. Like, it was just a really fun, organic time of like hip hop in my life growing up. Like, was the house party scene that we created. You know, there's a lot of like dumb shit too, like homies bringing Nas tanks and fucking a lot of like lighting the pool on fire and dumb shit. Like,
how does someone do that? How do you light a pool on fire? That's pretty cool.
You pour 4 gallons of gas in a pool. Don't.
All right, let me write this down. Okay.
The whole top of the pool, and they fucking drop a match, and the flames go like 30 feet high.
Yeah, just wait till the dad has to mow the fucking lawn the next day, and all his gas is gone.
Yeah. You think that's what he'll notice, Scott? Not the fire.
The pool had the gate around it, so people were trapped, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And the band was playing by the diving board. All our shit was like melted. Our fucking amps and shit all like got singed and fucked up and shit.
That's awesome.
You know, there's a statute of limitations on murder still, Hoppa. I don't wait.
This is all, you know, don't do this. Yeah, don't light a pool on fire.
Oh, those sound like such epic parties. Like, our party, we didn't have any DJs, we didn't have any bands, nobody was lighting pools on fire.
But so there was people trapped like inside, like no one got hurt, right?
No one got hurt. No one got hurt.
Okay.
It was all good fun, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cops didn't even show up, man. It was all good.
Oh, that's good. How'd you hook up with, I saw you, I did some research on you before this. I like to do that, obviously. How did you hook up with Bliss and Esso? I never knew you did music with them.
Which is crazy. That's my first real feature.
Yeah. And for people who don't know Bliss and Esso, Eric, like I know, yeah, they're like Australian. They're like Red and Meth out there. Like, they are huge out there. So for you to hook up with them is probably really cool. How'd that happen?
So when I was just like, I mean, super green, making beats, like really amateur, I knew nothing about audio mixing, nothing about making beats. I was just really drag and dropping samples and just doing it all by ear, all by what I wanted it to sound like, but I knew nothing. And I was on these forums called illmusic.com with a Z and a K, illmusic. And shout outs to illmusic, man. That was the first like little forum I was on where I was like asking questions and learning about production and shit. And I met some cool dudes out of there. And this dude, his name was Nug, N-U-G. I think he passed away, rest in peace. And he messaged me for like a beat I had just posted for like feedback on. You know, they have the little forms that are like, post your beats up for feedback, and like everything's like, oh yeah, it's cool. You should do this. You should, you know, drop your bass or whatever. So it was a real cool little community. And he hit me up and was like, yo, I'm from Australia. I work with these dudes, Bliss and Esso, you know, and we want that beat. And I was like, dope. And like, he's like, is $300 cool? I was like, fuck yeah. Fucking incredible. I'm like, yeah, send it, dude. And I sent him the beat, and like, you know, I found out later, like, oh shit, they pressed it to vinyl and they're on tour with 50 Cent and shit. Like, it was really cool. Like, it was just I ended up reconnecting with them. I did a couple other songs with them, and they did a song with like Dizzy and stuff like that. So they've kind of like stayed connected throughout the years, just a little bit. Met up with Bliss and stuff, but yeah, they're super cool dudes, man. It was just a random thing that happened off like posting beats on the internet on like a really like random production website.
Yeah. Now that they paid you, be honest, would you have given it to them for free?
No, I'd still, you know, I'd give it to him for free with some publishing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we had back end money because I'm sure it made a lot more than $300. But I mean, it's all. I was just happy for the opportunity. At that point in my career or whatever. It's
Of course.
like happy for anybody and.
Yeah.
Get the music on the vinyl. They mailed me the record. I was so hype. I was like, 19. Like, fuck yeah, I'm on a record.
That's sick.
I mean,
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
You mentioned that you were making beats. You were doing a lot of this stuff by ear. Did you eventually have any type of like formal training, or was it more like on the job experience type thing?
I always was like, I wish I just had a fucking mentor. Like, where's my Miyagi, dude? Where's my fucking this grandmaster that's gonna show me shit? Nah, man. It was pretty much by ear until fucking YouTube, and then it was like, okay, I can look up specific shit and
Yeah.
figure it out. Like recording vocals, like why do my vocals sound muddy or some shit? Just go to YouTube and fucking find some reputable engineer and learn it from them. Like that's like pretty much YouTube taught engineer fucking. And then with beats, it's all just like beats is like video games or something. You just get better and better and better and figure it out more with the software more. Yeah. But mixing and recording and stuff, a lot of stuff I just went to the internet and like just looked it up. Yeah.
Yes, I asked that because I went to school for audio engineering and like learning how to use Pro Tools, learning how to use like Ableton Live. I forget some of the other ones. This was a long time ago. And I ended up finishing it, but I never ended up like doing anything further with it. And I was going to New York City, and this was like, I was literally there every day doing that shit. And it's like, at that time, YouTube wasn't like that yet, where it had all the instructional type stuff. And now, I mean, you can hop on, just like you said, oh, I have muddy vocals. Well, how could I fix this? And then, boom, somebody made a video, and they're like, oh, it's just this and this. And you're like, oh, shit. And then you fixed it. And now you've learned. It's like you level up.
Yeah, like YouTube is it's an incredible like resource for anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, like I just got some ribeyes. Like, let me make sure I'm cooking them right. You grill the perfect ribeye and shit. You see like 7 techniques, and you're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take a little from this, boom, boom, and then
The switch in my dryer broke. I had no idea what to do, and some guy taught me. Some old guy was like, "You're taking it apart." I'm like, this is awesome. What do people do before this?
I still don't know how to tie a tie. I use the instruction videos every time.
When I was in 7th grade, my mom printed out pictures of someone doing it, and I had to figure it out that way. Man, back in the day.
I've probably tied a tie less than 10 times in my life.
Yeah. Me too. And every time I go to YouTube, and then I get mad at the instructor, and I go to the next video if I fuck it up. I'm like, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. No, but all right. To get into the funk volume years, when you got there, now to me that was like a quick boom. Like they just shot right up. Like it had to be surreal for you, like to just get on there. All right, I'm in, and then all of a sudden, like I want to say Hopsin might have released the Illmind 5, the one where like he was in all white, and that was the one where it was just like, all right.
I think it was 4, Illmind 4, the one that he made in his room.
Yeah, but 5 was the big one, man. Like that I got like he had like
a million, like
yeah.
I think it got a million every day for like a week straight. So it had like 7 a week. Like,
so how did you like react to it? Were you like, oh shit, like I stepped in a great situation here, or like this is awesome?
I knew that from the first tour when we were doing random, really like the very first I Am Raw tour. It was like 5 guys in one room. Like they were like sleeping on the floor. Like the sleeping situation was crazy. We were in like a small van, and the shows were small. They were like, I mean, the shows were packed. They were sold out, but small venues. They were like 200, 300 capacity venues. But like that energy was wild. Like I was like, oh shit, this is already like something you can tell by the fan base, by the energy of the interaction of the music and everything. So I knew it was popping like right off the jump, and we worked our asses off, man. Like we toured consistently every single year. As soon as that tour started, we didn't stop until the label broke up. So it was like I kind of just watched the venues get bigger. The energy was always the same. It was always like sold out fucking fan interaction. People want to meet and greets, everything. But then it just got bigger venues and shit. And then it was like, you know, it was like 2015, and then shit went down.
Yeah, without you, I don't know how much you could get into that, but like, what, like.
Well, hold on. Before we go
right,
into that, I just want to say one thing. We went to, like Scott mentioned, we went, what was it, like 2012?
2012, yeah.
Yeah, 2012, Hopsin came to SOBs in New York. Mm-hmm. And we ended up going because Scott was like, oh, Hopsin's going to be there. Let's get tickets. I was like, yeah, cool. So we end up going, and we're standing outside waiting in line to get in. And Hopsin ended up coming out and like shaking people's hands in the line, saying, thank you for coming to the show. Yeah. Literally taking pictures with everyone in the line. Yeah. And like, I was blown away by that because I'm like, yo, like, how many shows do you go to where the guy comes out and does this? And like, we were huge fans of his. So for him to come out and do that and like literally just shake everyone's hand, say thank you, and take a picture, next. Like that blew me away about it. I'm like, you know, this guy's gonna be big if this shit really takes off, you know?
Yeah, man. That fan interaction and that fan like respect has been like there from the jump, because it's just like, me personally, I'm like, yo, like without the fans, obviously there's no artist, there's no show, there's no thing happening. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what it's all about. And that's just like that was a part of Funk Volume too. And like the whole demeanor of all the artists was just like, yo, it's all about the fans.
Yeah. And you gain more fans with that, man. So when it fell apart, for lack of better terms, like, were you aware it was happening, or was it like a text you woke up to, like, wait, what the hell just happened?
It was like, for me personally, it was like a text like, oh shit. Like I knew shit was brewing. We all knew like shit, the tension was high, but the actual thing was just like, oh shit, you know, call Dizzy, call Jaren, figuring it all out, finding it all out. But it was like, you know, I wasn't on that specific call where the shit really was like split, you know what I mean, where like shit was said where they were like fuck this and that, but I was just immediately calling the homies and figuring it all out right after.
Was it all of them, or just like what, like did all, I'd hate to like ask you all this, man, because I don't know like if you want to talk about, was it all three of them who had a problem, like Jaren, Diz, and Hop, or just was it Hop and the like one guy and was just like fuck this, you know?
There was like, you know, it's like nobody had, we all had like, everyone had gripes, you know what I mean? It's like if you work a job, just whatever it be, there's just certain things that you're like, man, I wish this was like this, or this should be like this, or why isn't this like this, or whatever, you know? So it's like that existed, like just because we have been doing like relentless touring and shit, we're on the road and shit's going down. What happened on that phone call was more just like disrespect, you know what I mean? Like fucking mutual disrespect, I guess you could call it, or whatever. Lack of understanding of each other's perspective, to where, you know, like they were offended. They offended each other. Hop was offended, whatever happened. And it was like a straw that broke the camel's back type situation.
Right.
And that's pretty much, and you know, Hop is a passionate dude, and he's the type of dude that, you know, he feels strongly about something at that moment. He's not going to sit and think about it for a week. He's going to act at that moment. You know what I mean? So he acted, and that was the action. And the action was that, you know what I mean? It was what it was.
That's a damn shame, because I really feel like not to compare the two, because like it's unfair to compare like a label to a Shady Records type thing, but the way that Funk Volume just exploded from like 2012 to that time, and they were getting artists like Jaren Benton, like they had you guys had a shot, like to just catapult. If shit didn't hit the fan, that still kind of irks me. I'm sure irks you more than me as a fan, but it just,
I mean, it's crazy because we were, you know, we got in the game at a great time to where social media was like really popping. There was no algorithm yet. There was no limitation on visibility. So we would put out posts and there'd be 100,000 shares on like a post or something. Like things would go really like ultra viral. Where now it's like they just will like, you know, make an artist pay out the ass to get those kind of like results. You know, it's not organic anymore like it was before, where everybody could see what they, you know, see everything and pick and choose what they like. So we had that recipe of like virality. Is that what the word is?
It works. You're good. It works.
And it popped, you know, and it was popping. And that's a shame because it was like, yeah, we were there. We were kind of set. We were set in motion, you know?
No. Yeah.
So, but you know, everybody's still active and everybody's still making music. So I'm stoked to see that, you know, Swizz dropping music, Dizzy Wright drops music, Jaren Benton drops music, Hopsin dropping music, you know, I'm still active. So it's like, that shit wasn't an end all be all for any of the individual artists, you know, even, you know, Dame's still active. He's still doing his thing. So it's just like, that's what I'm glad for. It didn't like dead someone's career. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, then you never heard from him again, you know? Like, so that's cool, you know, like, and it was a good chapter, man. We definitely had a ton of fun, and I learned a lot about how labels are run. You know, I run an independent label, and that shit I got to watch on a large scale, you know, operate with all these parts, way more moving parts and stuff. So it was cool to learn. Yeah, man.
I have one more question about the Funk Volume thing, then we could dead it if you want. Were you there when they challenged COB with Crooked Eye to that freestyle contest?
What was did they do that on like a radio interview?
I think it was Sway. Yeah, Sway in the morning. Apparently, like Funk Volume, from what Crooked has said or tweeted, they like came in real cocky, and then like COB just kind of like, you know, proved they were the vets. You know what I mean? Were you there for that?
I wouldn't be able to speak on it because if I was there, I could have been there. Like very well could have been there. I would have just been in the studio, you know, looking for weed, rolling some weed up in the back, just chilling. You know, like and. But I mean, I remember the track. I remember the song and the beef. That's a great diss song, man.
Yeah, but that was a weird one to like look back on.
Yeah, it was random, very random. Like there's like money on the line or something like that. It was like it was all over the place.
All right, Brian. Any last? Because I know you're a big fan of Funk Volume 2. Any last questions before we move on from Funk Volume?
Is Jaren Benton as crazy as he comes off in his music? For real?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. but not related to the music. He's crazy.
Yeah. I know. I'm not.
He's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not saying like crazy like that, but like I don't know. Some like what was the mixtape? The one with Freebasing with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he's chilled out a lot over the years, you know. You know, he's not doing, you know, he's not smoking crack with Kevin Bacon or whatever.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's not doing all that. That's all good fun, and you know, he's just crazy bars.
But you know what it's like when you almost want to align the music with the person. So like that whole out like that mixtape, I love that mixtape, and like. He's like some of the songs are just really like off the wall, and I love like music like that. So then you almost like you're like, is this person really crazy like this?
Yeah. You're doing meet and greets. You don't know how many people have offered Jaren like speed or coke or something. Want this, you know, and he's like, oh man, no, dog, I don't want that shit. You know, like
you can't put out a mixtape named Freebasing with Kevin Bacon and not expect someone to come up to you with something.
Yeah, about freebase.
I would have offered him bacon.
I don't have a drug dealer, but you know, I was just that Pathmark.
Hey, all right, man. Let's get into Hoppa and Friends, your first album. So, I've been dying to know this. How do you decide who gets on which track? How do you do you call up I know Ari the Rugged Man was on one and one of the songs, do you just call them and say, hey, I got an open 16? Or you say, send me a 16, I'm putting you on a song with Dizzy, with Jaren, with Wax? How does it work?
You just got to kind of hear it. And I hear it, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, this would sound good on this song. Sometimes it's perfect like that where I know the person, I can reach out to them, or I try to reach out to them and they're down. But also it's you'll have a list of who you can reach out to, and then you got a list of the tracks, and you just piecing it together, just yeah, this would sound good, this would be cool, you know. It's all it's really just in my head of what I think would sound good, who would sound good with who, or Or yeah, like someone will come and do half a song. Like someone will do a hook and a verse, and I'm just sitting on that, and then I'm just like, all right, who would complement this song? Who would be able to like match the subject matter and the vibe of the song? Because you know everybody's got their own different vibe. You might not want to put like an artist that's swaggy on, you know, another type of track, you know, or an artist that's too like political on like a, you know, more bouncy track or some shit. I don't know, fucking. But you know, you just kind of feel the vibes out and match it up accordingly.
Right. I have to say too, the whole album from a few years ago, I like it because like it's just raw. It reminds me of an old Hopsin song. Like it reminds me of you with your funk volume like mask on, if you will. Like it just every bar. Like there was a line where, to bring up Jaren Benton, he said like someone ripped the some straight jacket and bite the buckle off. It just every bar just hits, like, you know what I mean? I really love that about the album. So I'm excited about the second one, and when I do pre-order it, I don't know which little item to pick. I'm nervous about that. So.
But yeah, no, that's dope, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll pre-order that at brokencomplex.com.
Yeah. Hey, XS, do you have any questions? I'm sorry, I'd hate to have us hog this.
I mean, well, I started off playing drums myself. I'm 30 now. I've been playing drums for like 27 years. And I started.
Fuck yeah, dude. You have really good rhythm.
I mean, I work really hard, you know. So, but hearing that you had all those other musical influences around you, and now that you've been so deep in what you're doing now, do you still mess around with drums or guitar or anything still?
Oh man, if I see a drum set, like I'm jumping on it no matter what. Yeah, absolutely. Word. And if I had like I had a little studio set up at the homie's crib, and they sold the crib. So right now I got the guest room set up, and we're trying to get a new studio for Broken Complex. So when we do that, it's like been a goal of mine to have like a little jazz kit in there, or just a real simple like kick drum, hat, splash, you know, little simple kit in there just to do exactly that, like play breaks and
word.
So I can still play drums because I love playing drums. And there's something about like even trying to program that natural swing, you just can't do it. And you have everyone's got their own swing, and that shit's like priceless. You know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
Yeah. So
you get that organic. There's something organic about, even if there's like little mess ups or something in there. You know what I mean? It just adds to the organicness of the sound. I totally feel that. Yeah. And for me personally, I like the last like pretty much half of my drumming career has been focused on like the marching band world and like marching percussion. You know what I mean? So going into you got it, like Travis Barker type shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been really interesting for me transitioning into rapping for like the past year or so, basically trying to incorporate as much of like my drumming knowledge into rapping as I can, you know?
Yeah. And it all cross relates, man. You know?
Yeah, man.
I wish I would have stuck with the piano lessons longer. You know, as a kid, you don't understand the benefit that it's going to have.
Of course.
So you're just like, I want to go outside and ride my bike. Like, fuck this piano shit. Like,
right, dude. And especially in your case, producing, like, dude,
right.
It only helps like so much exponentially.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Going to your creative process, what he was talking about, like how you think of beats. You're familiar with the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, Pet Sounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how he made some of those beats, right? Like he brought actual pets into the freaking studio and just now, which some people argue is the greatest album ever made, production-wise.
Right.
Is there anything crazy you've done like that you've thought about doing? Like something just you hear outside, like I don't know, like a horn honker, like I could use that. Something crazy?
I've definitely, I mean, shit, if you go back to that Bliss ESSO track, man, if you go listen to that track, there's a little vocal piece in there. It's just me going like, whoo, or some shit like that. Because I just the track and like I just put myself in the song, like vocal. That's probably like the most like weird shit I'll do is like when no one's around and I'm alone making a beat. I'll like sing some shit and then fuck with it so much that it's completely like indistinguishable. You know what I mean? Like doesn't sound like me at all and shit, and sneak that in there. But it like if someone had the footage of me recording it, it would look wild. Totally, you're out of pocket.
do you have like a specific mood that you're in when you make a beat, or are you just messing around and then you kind of just feel that vibe and roll with it?
That's a good question, man. Like today I was just messing around. Like I literally was telling myself, man, I should mess around and make a beat today. And like literally, you know, my kid's rolling around on the floor, my lady's on the couch, and I'm just clicking shit and like fucking around, made a beat like that. But then also there's other times where I'm like, you know, sit down, it's beat time, you know, like yeah, try to like set it up like that. So it kind of like, it varies, you know, but
yeah,
sometimes you have to like just tell yourself like sit down and fuck around, because that inspiration isn't always there. You just gotta like kind of force yourself to get in the groove, you know, like get into it, make it a habit.
Yeah. When you made a beat, did you have an idea of how the song should be, and then you let somebody spit their 16 on it and it wasn't the type of vibe that you wanted? Like, is that a difficult thing that go through?
That's definitely it.
No names, of course.
There's someone right now watching this crushing a Coke can.
But I mean, I can imagine it's like, oh, I picture this, and they go here with it, and you're like, damn.
Oh, that's heartbreaking too. Like, or you know, you have this vision of them like spazzing, or like, you know, just like really fast rapping, or like doing something like just so hard, and then they're like, yo, so I'm gonna sing on this record, or like, yo, like, you know, or like check out what I wrote, and it's like totally, you know, not necessarily what, you know, the vision is. I always try to guide it though. I might be like, we'll track it, we'll record it, and then I'll be like, now try this one, you know, let's hear them, let's A/B those parts, and then see if I can somehow steer the shit back.
Right.
Like,
I've always wondered, like, if there's like a West Coast rapper, an East Coast rapper, and a Southern rapper all on the same song, do they collaborate? Do they say this is what we want, or do they just spit their 16 and you put it together? And sometimes they look like they don't go together, but sometimes it seems like there's a vibe. Like, how does that usually work?
That's all in the song, you know. Like if they're all in the same studio, then you know they're definitely like, I'm sure collaborating like that. But if it's one producer in one city and then he's sending the song out to 3 different rappers, it all depends like what order the artist received the song. Like sometimes they all just get the beat with nothing on it, and they're just like, fuck it, I'll just rap about whatever, send 16 bars back, and then the producer puts that together, which I don't think is the way to do it. Usually you want to have at least like a hook on there, like, you know, some kind of like vibe and direction, and like just have all the artists like hit the same topic, you know.
Yeah, because I can imagine writing about like killing, murdering people, and somebody's like, we got to change, man. There's a different way, and it's like the same song. Like, how do you avoid that?
That song's called fucking The Yin and the Yang.
That happened in a track I collabed someone with. I won't name him. My verse is about like bringing in a new era of rap, and like I sent it out to him. He was out in LA, and he sent the verse back, and it was like, he had like drugs in his verse, and I was like, this doesn't really work, but fuck it, go with it. You know?
At the end of the, you know, if it sounds good, shit, it doesn't even, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, sometimes people are like, fuck it, I don't care, you know, as long as it's fucking banging.
Is there anyone you haven't you want on your beat you haven't had yet? Like the wow, this would be awesome.
Oh shit, I would love to work with like Action Bronson, for like current rappers. Who else? Like that's a good question too. I haven't put much thought into it. Like
whatever. We ask good questions on the show.
Yeah, I would say like who else is in my vibe right now that I'm fucking with? Oh, IDK. I've been hitting up IDK to get on my shit. He's dope as fuck. And yeah, I guess those 2 guys off top would be like 2 guys I'd go for real quick.
Yeah. Do you watch Fuck That's Delicious?
I saw a couple of them. I seen the like clips and stuff on IG and shit.
It is so funny. Like I was watching that. Like when they go to like East New York, that shit is just the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Action's a hilarious dude, man. Like fucking.
Now, Hoppa, I know you have a label and you have to be careful how you talk. And I know there's a place for everybody, because everyone we ask, there's a place for everyone in hip hop, right? Us being a little older, like, how do you feel about it right now with what's mainstream? And I know if you want good music, you can search for it, but you got guys like, let me just give out like a out on the West Coast, Locksmith, right? Who's putting out great bars, like just like inspirational shit. Who's making his money, he's doing well. I'm assuming. I don't want to speak on his finances, but like I'm sure he's doing well. Has a great following out there. We're fans of him. We had him on the show, and then you got like Migos or Tekashi making the $56 million a year. I mean, does that at all irk you? Are you around people you know it irks you?
It did when I was really young. Like when I was really young in the game, I was just like, man, fuck this shit. Like they don't keep it real. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck am I to determine what the fuck real is? You know what I mean? Like why am I like what? So it's like let everybody do their fucking thing. I respect. I think everyone's got a lane. And shout outs to the Migos for making big bricks of money that they can hold and put into an airplane. I think they've strapped money into like an airplane seat before.
It is amazing, yeah.
Imagine being on that flight. Like, can I get a little bit of, can I get this much?
Yeah, exactly. Just be extra nice. Try to get a tip.
I just came here for a water. What am I doing here? No, but like you said when you were younger, we were like that too. You're 19. Oh man, I'll never do a song. Like blah blah blah. I'm keeping it real. It's amazing how your morals change when you have bills to pay. You know, like
I'm a big supporter on like support what you like and just don't hate on what you don't like. If you don't like something, get it off your radar, get it off your plate. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to follow the Migos to see them to get mad at them and comment on their posts like you guys are fake. You know, like why are they even on your radar if you don't fuck with them? You know what I mean? So and instead I just have all the artists that I do fuck with and I support them. You know what I mean? So it's like I try to just take that angle and just not even give. But, you know, shout outs to the Migos. They got bangers. You know what I mean? But, like, artists that I don't fuck with, I just don't give them shine. And artists that I do, I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
familiar, Scott.
What does that mean?
It's the same thing Nino Bless said. He's like, if you don't like something, stop fucking watching it.
I've gotten better the age I've gotten older. It's when people listen. Like I won't listen to them, but it's when I see people listen to them trying to push them on me. It's like, stop. I don't want to hate on them because I don't like that type of music. So don't send me their shit, or else I'm gonna hate on them, right? So like my friends do it to piss me off. So like then I get mad. Like I mean.
The only illogical one that you don't like, it just makes no sense, is 2 Chainz.
It makes perfect sense, and I don't.
No, it doesn't.
Yo, your face. You were when I said if you watch Tekashi 6ix9ine, I was like, forget what you think about him. Tekashi 6ix9ine Billy video is one of the hardest music videos ever. And you guys were over. I was like, just watch it. You're like, I don't want to watch it. That shit was hard, even though the aftermath.
Yeah, and all that
but
shit.
But that video, if you look at it as a video, like a movie, that shit was hard, for sure.
It was.
Fair. You know what that shit is? It's like that the bright colors and all that shit. Kids love that shit. Like, you know, if you tap into the kids, you're fucking global. You're huge. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a major market. And that's what, like, you know, artists like that did. And that's cool. You know, fuck it. You know, everybody's got their lane. But then, like I said, like, very few times do I hear about it because it's just not on my radar like that.
Right. Yeah. And the older you get, the less time you have to give a shit about it. Let's be honest.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose what you put your energy in. You know.
Right.
The Hoppa. Go on. No, go on.
It's also like understanding the artist too. Like if you are like grew up in like 80s bands, right, and then Nirvana comes out, you're like, who the hell are these like losers, right? But like I grew up, you know, we listened to like 50 Cent and Tupac and that when we were younger. And then I heard Lil Peep and I was like, I don't care about this guy, but I saw his documentary. And his documentary made me listen to his stuff more because I was like, he's coming from like a dark place. He's bipolar. He's all fucked up. And then you're listening to his music and you appreciate it in a different light because he's not the typical hardcore New York rapper on the corner selling crack. He's just a guy, like a troubled kid. And a drug addict.
You're hearing the authenticity in the music, and that's
like I believe him. I believe him when he's talking. So it doesn't have to be like, you know, like if you're listening to a rock star, it's not like he's not drinking and doing heroin every day. Like who gives a fuck? He's in a vibe.
Right. But if you see fake ass butt rock like rock star, like you know, just like fucking looking like just faking the funk, you're gonna immediately and be like, this guy sucks.
It's
Yeah.
almost like you respect,
You know?
you respect him more because he's that vulnerable and
Exactly. It's like the authenticity, man, is everything, no matter what the vibe is. You don't have to necessarily like, you know, it doesn't have to be like your exact vibe, but you can respect it. You know?
Right. Never
Sure.
knock it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I try not to knock anybody's hustle.
Let's get into your new album coming out. When are you dropping it? August 4th?
August 4th.
August 4th. So pre-order it now. Hoppa and Friends 2. And explain the little gift you get, because I got nervous when I was trying to order.
You get, okay, there's like a custom little die cut sticker of like all the heads, you know, the album cover.
Yeah.
And then you get an enamel pin. It's like a fucking, you know, like a, I should have one, but I don't. I think it's downstairs. You know, like those fucking pins and shit. But the one that's on that picture, the DJ Hoppa one's actually sold out. We sold out of those. So you get a different one. I got to change the graphic. But
Okay, that's fair. Fine. How'd you decide who was going to be on this one?
man, I just hit up everybody. I had the usual suspects lined up, you know, like half of it done. And then I was doing posts like, who are your favorite artists from the first one? Who do you want to hear on the second one? That's how like Yubi got on it, recognized like
Sick.
certain artists just reached out and they were like, yo, like send me a beat. I want to jump on it. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, let's go. So I got like half the album done in the last like couple months, just real quick during the quarantine and shit. Everybody was able to like record, send the vocals in. Yeah. So it was pretty much through like fan interaction and then through that narrowing it down and then people reaching out and then me reaching out. You know, there's a few people I didn't get to get, but shit, there's always number 3.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't take you 5 years, man. I hope you fucking pump it out quick.
But, hey, you know, I did 2 records with Gavlin and Stony Point 1 and 2 in between those 2 records. So I did a lot of music in between the first Hoppa and Friends and the second Hoppa and Friends. But,
I want you to become like the Now CD, like Hoppa and Friends 36.
That's what I call music. It's like 200. It used to come out every year. Now it's like 200. I'm like, how often do they put these out?
So much bread, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. I
Go on. Yeah. Quick round. Yeah, go on.
How long will you sit on music? Like, do you have, like, will you stockpile some things only for a certain amount of time?
I hate to sit on music, but I have sat on music for like almost about a year. Like shit will be like almost a year old before it comes out.
Yeah.
Just due to like, it's just like a song that you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to put that on this project, and you tuck it away and then that project gets delayed and then, you know, it ends up getting pushed back. You always have it like in your back pocket. A lot of artists have like, songs in their back pocket, like just like put here and there. Yeah.
Now with those songs, like let's say you have something like that. You're like, okay, I'm gonna put this on this project. It gets delayed for some reason, and then let's say it goes like a year's time, and then the project gets canceled. Now you just have this music. Like, will you just put it out on something, or will you just completely?
Yeah, I'll find a home for it for sure. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, bring that song over here. I'll put it on. Yeah, I'll find definitely like a project to put it on, or some way to like to make it work. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because I feel like a lot of artists, what they'll do is like, I mean, I understand like with the recording process, like you're gonna go in, you'll make an album, and you may record what 50 songs, 60 songs, and then you're talking about cutting it down to like a 12 to 15 tracks out of those 60 songs. Like, where does the rest of that go? Like, it just never gets heard. I think that mantra is more like major label mantra, where you're cutting 60 because they're like literally trying to please some fucking round table of corporate assholes for them to make like a fucking proper hit. You know what I mean? Like they're like, you're almost there, just fucking one hit away on this record and then we'll give you a release date. You know what I mean? So they just keep that's why they make fucking 60 records. Or you're Kanye or Dre and you're just ultimate perfectionist and you're just gonna keep like throwing shit at the wall in the studio until you're like, yes, this is perfect. This one's perfect. This one's perfect. But I think like, you know, I'll make like on Hoppa and Friends, every record that I told myself like this could be on Hoppa and Friends ended up on the record. There weren't any like throwaways. I liked every record, you know what I mean? But there could be like 1 or 2 or maybe like 3, but I don't think artists make like that many songs in comparison to how many get released. Unless they're like in like a major label situation, or if they're like a brand new group and brand new band and they're making their very first songs, so they're like they don't feel like they're ready yet, you know what I mean? But like yeah, like if I book a studio with an artist or I've like, you know, to work on a project, you record 20 songs, like 16 of those songs are going to be on the record probably.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I would. All right, quick round table before we get to our final segment here. Hoppa, we like to do gun to your head segment. It's questions. We'll get to that. Eric, any final questions for him or no?
Just because you mentioned them, who do you think, I don't want to say who's better because I feel like I know that answer, as a producer, Dre or Kanye?
It's tough.
That's tough because you know, I think Kanye does more writing lyrically than Dre, so I'm like, I view Kanye as like a rapper as well. Dre's a rapper too, but I know that Dre has a lot of people that rap.
Right.
But I grew up, it's also kind of like different eras too, a little bit. Is like the earlier generation, and then Kanye's the next generation. So it's hard to compare the two because Dre, when I was coming up, Dre was everything. He made the shit sound like hip hop sounded so polished and so fucking banging at the same time. Like he really had that mixed science down, you know? Like, so I give it to Dre just because of like, you know, for me time and the time I was in when I heard it and shit.
Nice. Yeah. Makes sense.
Great.
It's crazy how long Kanye's been around. I heard Lucifer by Jay-Z was that 03, 04. He's like, Kanye, you a genius. I'm not going to finish the rest of the sentence, but yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're totally different though, in a sense, because I feel like he's more versatile, like musically, like he'll put together a whole orchestra, whereas not to say Dre's not talented, obviously Dre's very talented, but like Dre will just like be dialed into the studio and like everything that's like the technical aspect of it, you know, where Kanye is more of like, he'll put together this grand creation for like a small segment on a song. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The production values. But, you know, Dre will bring in incredible bass player. Like some of those bass lines on those G-Funk records are like, they're crazy. Like he brings in a lot of live musicians and does a lot of wild shit too. But yeah, you know, and Kanye also started as like a beat maker on an MPC, like straight, just him on a little beat machine, you know? So it's like they both have their, you know.
How many samples did Kanye have on with All the Lights? Didn't he have like, it was like dozens and dozens. Like there's so much going into that song. Like that
great. Yeah, he's got a lot of phases with his beats and his production too. Like, yeah, his production is crazy. Like, I mean, I wouldn't really pick, if I had to pick one, I'd say Dre because of the impact on me at the time. But they're both, you know, goats for sure.
Right. Excess. Any final questions or no?
Well, I thought of this a few minutes back. Going back to like the putting together of songs, like with the artist and stuff. Have you ever received a verse first and then built a beat around the verse?
No, but I've like completely. I've had like somebody do a song or do a verse on a song and then completely rebuild a whole new beat around their verse. So it's like just said, fuck this beat, dude. This beat sucks. And then rebuilt the beat, but like totally different beat, totally different style. And that's probably the furthest I've gone. I haven't gotten just like raw vocals that say 86 BPM, like figure it out. You know what I mean? Like not yet. Like so far it's like always just been the beat first and then the vocals. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. All right, Hoppa. Now, there's a lot of pressure on you here. Ready? We like to do a gun to your head segment, and it's 5 questions each, and we keep standings, all right? So we like to do like a would you rather with our guests, but we like to think it's a little more complicated, a little more wordplay involved, you know what I mean? So we're going to ask you 5 questions each. Okay. You got to answer them, gun to your head, and pick a winner at the end. Are you ready? A lot of pressure on you.
I have to pick a winner?
Yes. So you got to figure out what questions you think were the best, all right? Since I came in last on our last episode, which is debatable, we'll leave it at that.
Facts are facts, Scott. Facts
I'll
are
go
facts.
first on this one. All right. Now these are some wacky questions. All right.
Give me a question, and I pick which question, and I have to answer it, of course.
Yes. Yeah. You have to answer it. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous. All right. Would you rather live in a lighthouse or a house with no lights?
House with no lights.
Okay. Would you rather wear a jean jacket or change your name to Eugene Jacket?
I'd rather wear a jean jacket.
Okay. Would you rather carry a Tickle Me Elmo everywhere or have a guy named Elmo tickle you every day?
Fuck. I would carry the Elmo everywhere.
All right.
No grown man is tickling me, I'll tell you that.
DJ Pauly D or DJ Tanner from Full House?
Oh, DJ Tanner.
Right, yeah. I'm with you. All right, last one for me. Would you rather live in Santa Barbara or be Santa's barber?
Oh, shit. Santa's barber.
All right.
Hell yeah.
All right. Brian, you're up. No, yeah, you lost yesterday. Brian, you're up.
Good.
All right. Would you rather wrestle Diamond Dallas Page or steal a diamond from a woman in Dallas named Paige?
Oh, shit. I'll steal the diamond. Even though it's shady, I don't steal, but I don't want to nobody.
Who would make a better jazz song, Karl Malone or Post Malone?
Post Malone. Post Malone. Let's go.
You have to wear one of these for a year. What would you pick, tube socks or tube tops?
Tube socks.
Would you rather be trapped in duct tape or tape a duck?
Oh, shit. Fucked up. This is fucked up. I don't want to be trapped. I'd have to tape the duck. Sorry, duck. Sorry, Peter.
All right, last one. Would you rather do a song with the Bloodhound Gang or own a gang of bloodhounds?
I would fucking pay money to do a song with the Bloodhound Gang.
Yes.
I'd fucking love to do
All right, I'm nervous. Here we
Our
go.
defending champion, Eric, up right now.
Final round.
Wrestle a big old croc or only wear Crocs for the rest of your life?
Crocs, dude.
Forever.
I'm not gonna wrestle a croc. That shit'll like
You might win.
one bite though. It's just like no.
Death roll.
I'd have to wear Crocs like Crocs with Jinko, so my Jinko jeans would like cover the Crocs.
That's awesome. All right. You either have to always wear a bathing suit or wear a suit every time you bathe.
Bathing suit life all day. Fuck it. I just
Okay.
rock a bathing suit. Yeah.
Would you rather fight Kendrick Lamar or have a llama named Kendrick?
I'd rather have a llama. I don't want to fight
Would you rather fight Birdman or fight a man using a bird?
I guess I just fight Birdman because it's one less thing in the equation. That way I'm fighting a man, or I'd have to use a bird. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just fight a regular style. I'll fight Birdman.
Okay, would you rather hopscotch with Hopsin or go to a fortune teller with Future?
Oh, fortune teller with Future would probably be fucking lit, dude.
All right.
All right, Hoppa. Okay, who is the best questions? You got to pick a winner here. Does anyone stick out or
My name's
whatever?
Eric. My name's Eric.
Shit. The Crocs question
God
stuff.
damn it. Eric's got the
Oh, no. He had two of those questions were real fucking suspect on biting there a little bit.
Brian's
Fight?
getting real fucking. Brian's getting a real sore loser on us all of a sudden.
Wait, the fighting?
The bathing suit. And
Was that
Birdman
close? Was the bathing suit close to another? Oh, we can talk about this.
Yeah, it's fine. Hoppa,
Yeah.
man, thanks for participating and everything. Catch us out.
Thanks, man.
Before you go, if you have like 1 minute, XSIQ here, he rapped for UB. We like to have him rap for some of the people we have on. UB actually said it reminded him a little of Tech. So if you don't mind, listen to him just rap a cappella. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Go for it, XS.
Word up. Slipping it lately, I've been in it. Killing the race, feel like I did it. Pick up the pace if you want to get in the race, you've already missed it. Ahead of the chase and keep my distance. Must be a misprint. Unless I misread it. This says that someone here trying to step up with exit would appear. This flex makes no sense. I'm gonna kick it into gear. Don't hold your breath. Figure to come on that is correct. Without an ounce of finesse, we find a matter in a second. You've had it, guess. We always kind of regression with equal opposite efforts. We can't empower the message if we don't stop with depression. We've got to be stubborn defensive. The coward in essence will encounter revenge. Sit this out on the bench, kid. I messed around with the powerful press kid. I said we keep it light until my dad is restless. Pound my chest, bitch. We out for checks. Instead I found your neck. The killer clown is red. Quick to drown your head. The resounding effect of a count of events come around. I confess I hold down the best flows you get. No wow to let's goes and press no. Crowd erect those. I doubt your specs won't forget just how we get those around us to bow. I said so. The meek and evil killing it. I'm secretly seeking. I'm to eat. I'm feeling fetus with the reasons for leaving the media. They couldn't conceive it. The media for being us agree to me. But what are we even debating here? Let's make it clear. The stage appears to wake your fears. I taste the sheer. Ball give a bit all. We get off and it. But we pick off the anonymous. Killing all the killer shit.
Sheesh. Okay, so honest opinion, that's fire. Obviously, you know how to rap, and then you throw in the snaps. That's tight as fuck because it gives it that fucking that vibe, that live vibe. I would, as honest feedback, I would break it down a couple parts, man. I would slow it the fuck down and just like go back and forth. So, because too much of that, fools would just be like rapidy rap, rapidy rap, rap.
Right.
Too much rapping. So it's like, but if you style, just break it down and then go back into that, they're like, oh, just take them on a roller coaster.
Unexpected twists and turns and shit.
Which I think like helps, but you do that on a live show and shit, it's fucking game over. People be like going nuts, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
That would be my advice, would be like, yo, just break it down a couple parts, go slow, and then bring it back up into what you're doing, and then break it down and halftime it and then go back in.
Okay, epic.
But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, delivery and bars and everything was on fire.
Word, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. Good shit.
Hey, Hoppa, this was really cool, man. Really, thanks for you coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.